Heimdall's Watch, brought to you by Isolated City Gaming. This episode is brought to you by the $6.30 we found stuck between the couch cushions. Now, on with the show. Last session we had Hana was battling with the inner spirit of lycanthropy.
And I was victorious.
Yes.
And then I had to have dinner with some fucking gnomes.
That's what we're heading to now.
Can we just skip to the end?
No.
Rip.
Leland?
Leland was having a intimate encounter with the mimic avatar.
Yep.
And learned a dark secret. And then left. Hey.
And Poppet's been down to the market stores, and he has a hot tip to go watch Silden at the Market Inn. And he also got a kitty cat named Snore, who may or may not run away on him when animal friendship runs off.
No, you just gotta give it milk.
No, I just have to keep casting animal friendship and still it loves me.
I've got to steal that ring.
This is getting problematic real fast. Who has a piece to go first? This is very much driven by you guys.
James does. My name is James. I want to go first.
Everybody get out of the way. I'm James and I'm going first.
True, okay.
Go ahead, James.
For what it's worth,
what-
I know you were looking for where Leland is. Leland's in the...
Oh, yeah, I have other things to do. You're second on the list.
Cool.
You can wait.
That's better than usual.
I don't know what time it is and what time Silden. I think it was during the day, but I don't know how much time between getting this hot tip and... Because if they were flying, you'd think there was a bit of time.
It was a little bit of time. Because I think you ran into Sigrun in the
That was last night.
tavern at the night. Morning you went to go wake up Leland, and then you went out. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
A good portion of the day still.
Excellent, excellent. I have to head back to the temple, and I have to feed Snore.
Okay.
I need to get food for Snore.
All right.
One thing off the list. I assume he just eats meat, because he's a kitty cat.
You can pick something up in the markets.
Oh yeah, I guess.
You're there.
They might not have that
Some
at the
fancy
temple.
feast.
That's
Let's
true.
feast.
Oh, actually, I have errands to do. Yes. So, firstly, I need to get cat food from the local pet food store.
Yep.
Local, whatever.
Pet food store. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, just down at Aldi.
Okay.
In Europe, there's Aldis.
Fair. There was.
He's got you there.
Yeah. Okay. So there's not like a specific pet food store.
It's a
but
butcher's.
You've got got the choice of some of the red meats from there's a butcher's stall with a whole pile of like hocks and bits and pieces hanging on hooks across a wooden cart, or you've got the fishmongers.
Probably fishmongers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fish.
And we can have the scent of fish wafting through the temple.
Just don't microwave it.
It's always someone.
That's a war crime.
I may have been that someone before.
Bet you would have been.
So you walk up to the fishmonger's stall
Yep.
and start sort of
I imagine Snore is on my shoulders, like draped around my neck,
Sure.
because I'm only little.
You got this sort of, it's a white fluffy cat, essentially sort of perched up on your shoulder, sort of almost like a.
I cleaned him up with prestidigitation, so he's looking extra clean and fluffy.
Aww. Yeah, take it to the cat shows later.
See,
Um,
this is our new life. We're no longer police officers. We just take part in cat shows.
You gotta have a passion. I guess.
Now starts with one cat, but in 14.
Are you gonna be a crazy cat halfling?
Sure. How many can I fit in my room?
Well, quite small, so a lot.
by volume, probably
Yeah.
somewhere in the hundreds.
Yeah, because I imagine all the rooms in the temple are like a standard size. So.
Okay, so as soon as you start approaching up to this, Snore is the name you gave him? was it?
Snore.
Okay. It starts sort of like rumbling loudly in your left ear, and then just sort of like rubbing its.
I think he likes fish.
rubbing its cheek against the side of your face. It's like bash, bash.
I nuzzle back.
Sorry.
I nuzzle back.
Oh, cute.
You guys.
You get right up to the stall, and Snore sort of like just like stands up, like does the arching,
Stretching.
back stretch, and then jumps down and onto the actual display counter of the stall, and just starts like doing that sort of I own everything walk that cats do across things that they clearly don't actually own.
Hi. Give me 1 second. Let me navigate. I use the second charge of my rings to cast Speak with Animals on Snore.
Mm-hmm.
I ask him which fish he wants.
Okay.
Dr. Doolittle over here.
All right. So the cat sort of just like walks along the edge and then comes up to like this. It looks like a sort of gargantuan side of like some sort of deep sea creature that it's like one part of the flank.
Yes.
And it's still 3 times larger than anything else I got on display, and it just sort of like puts a paw on it, and you see the claws, pop out and sort of dig into it, and sort of turns up to you and just like, this one.
I look at the retail person and I point at it.
The
Is there
retail
like
guy
a
is sort of
price or something?
really not paying any attention at all because of he's sort of fussing around with something behind getting stuff out of some barrels behind it, like, every now and then turning around, and then sort of turns around and sees this cat with its
Claw in the fish.
claws in the fish, and just like he's pulling this like broom that he's got, and he's like, "Oi, get off!" And they're trying to shoo this cat away.
Oh, that's not what I want. I will. Oh, I guess I have to yell at them. So just.
And he's just like,
Oi, excuse me. How much for the?
"Well, you're definitely buying it now, but $2 for that."
Okay, I pay 2 gold. Can you wrap it up, please?
Rude.
Ryan's making very rude gestures with 2 fingers
4 fingers now.
for the whole table.
But
Need to make a formal podcasting complaint.
Ryan does not like cats.
I think the fact that they've got 2 of them in the house is contrary to that.
You're just very abusive to Snore.
He was playing a character, James.
It's coming from somewhere deep.
It's coming from somewhere deep.
He pulls this like sheet of like this like thick paper, and just like gets his gaff hook and like slams it into the side of this here and like drags it onto the paper and sort of pulls it all over, and it's like with a heavy sort of passes it over to you.
Okay, I take it.
At this like Snore sort of jumps down from the bench from the stall bench and just starts like doing the circles around your legs, just like purring away, and then sort of gets right in sort of deep and just like arches back slightly, puts like the right paw up the side of your leg, left paw up the side of your leg, and then just starts like
Climbing,
not climbing, just sort of like doing the whole
kneading
the
thing.
kneading thing. Just like you feel the claws sort of like digging sharply into the side of your leg. It's like,
When we get home,
and then it sort of just drops back down again, just like meow.
So imagine this is quite big and my arms are quite full.
Yeah, essentially you've got it like over one shoulder, and we're looking at it. It's like you're trying to carry like a big like flour sack sort of size
Okay.
parcel of fish that you've
I
got.
need
for
to
a
leave the
single cat.
next errand for later because we'll have to go back to the temple now then. So we will head back to the temple
All right.
and I will head to the kitchens and ask them if they have any methods of storing this.
All right. So you're you make your way across to the Heimdall temple and heading into the mess hall towards the back where the the serving desk is, and one of the cooks there is like, what was your surname? Your family name?
Hilltopple.
Hilltopple, and that's a known thing, or is it like people know you by that name?
In the temple?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hilltopple, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so Hilltopple, what do you got? What you got there?
Cat food.
How many cats?
At this, I imagine Snore jumps up and
Why?
it's the one he wanted.
Okay.
So I need to store this.
Like any good cat owner, Puppet knows who's in charge.
And they're like,
And he'll also take some now.
Sorry?
And also take a bit now for him.
All right, so yeah, you sort of hand it over, and basically drop it down on the bench because this whole time you was there with your right arm over your shoulder, holding onto.
I don't have the most strength.
Sorry?
I don't have the highest strength.
Yeah, but this is in the realm of anyone
Yes.
that doesn't have like a massive negative in strength to still be able to carry it. I said massive negative.
Okay.
And you sort of drop it down, I wouldn't say drop. It's just slide from your shoulder
Yeah.
to the bench, and then it sort of peel a bit of the paper across from one side and take
And cut
a
some
small,
off for-
take a small cut off of it,
Yep.
cutting off it, and they're like, we're going to have to, get some more ice in to be able to hold this for a while, but
Okay.
I don't know how long that's going to last. One cat's not going to get through this very quickly.
Are there any other cats in the temple?
I should hope not.
I don't know.
But
Would you like some?
and they sort of peel back some of the paper and they're looking at this thing and it's like, where did you get this?
The fishmonger? What is it?
I don't know.
Snore likes it.
Yeah, this the actual flesh of it, rather than sort of that whitish pink flesh you normally get of fish, it's got this deep red and burgundy shade to the meat, and the skin. Some of the scales are still on there. The skin has got this very sort of deep, like onyx sort of coloration to it. But every one of the scales that are still there has just got this shine like polished glass. They've got no clue whatsoever what sort of sea creature that's come from. It's definitely not one of
The standard fishes.
not one of your standard fishes or the regular sort of lake, river, or bay area catches.
I mean, they sell it at fishmongers. I assume it's not toxic.
That would have been an interesting thing to ask. But yeah, one cook sort of picks a parcel up and just heads out to the to a
Thank
back area and just,
you.
slide, sort of with an elbow slides this one door open. And this room's just packed with like crates of ice, and just like slaps it down on one of the shelves of one of the crates of ice, and sort of piles some over the top. Of
I
it.
call it a very cheerful thank you.
All right, heading back to your room, I'm assuming.
And after Snore's eaten, we have another errand to
You're
go
just
on.
gonna feed him where he's at.
Yes.
All right, so
Or if they have like a little bowl or something that I can borrow.
you sort of grab one of the little like serving bowls you've got that because it's a
The
mess
bowls
hall.
can-
I ask if I'm allowed to borrow it.
It's a mess hall.
Yeah,
So
still
there's-
ask.
Okay, fair enough. They're like, fine.
Thank you.
You get this little bowl and so, break this fish up just with your hands and sort of put it in the bowl, and you barely you're still only got the bowl like 6 inches off the ground still before Snore's already got his nose in the bowl, just like chowing down on this.
I think he
And-
likes it.
And then he sort of finishes and sort of just looks up at you, sort of looking you square in the eyes, and just sort of does this big sort of wide yawn, just like exposing every one of the teeth at you, and then sort of just trots around you.
So they're very contented.
Sure.
I assume it took more than 10 minutes to get from the fishmongers back to... Yes. Okay, so Speak with Animals has worn off. Okay. I have to find a nursery next.
A nursery,
Yes.
like a plant nursery.
Yes. Not a baby nursery.
I had to ask. All right.
Okay.
Where would you find a nursery? Just a standard house plant sort of thing,
Yeah.
or like gardening supplies, or something a little more exotic.
Not fairly exotic, just little plants.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I need to get a chrysanthemum and a daffodil.
Okay.
What?
Bards, man.
I need a chrysanthemum and a daffodil.
Fair.
Same.
Roll me a wisdom check.
Just straight wisdom?
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's that's a 9.
9. You remember when it's only been, I think, a day or so at this point, but when you first got back from the ship, you took a whole bunch of injured people up to Freya's temple.
We only went up there because we had to take Leland's uncle. Not Leland's, Hollister's uncle. They were insisting. And
But as you went through there were quite elaborate gardens around the grounds of the
excellent.
temple.
I will take Snore there to look at their gardens.
Making your way up there, it's one of the sort of the central view, so it's in sort of the whole city sort of set up like a hub. So like the main temples of like Freya, Odin, and so forth are right in the center, and then the next ring is essentially like Thor, Heimdall, and a few of those other ones, and then you've got some of the more tertiary ones that are further out again. So right in the center of the city, you've got you're heading to Freya's temple, and you pass through the gates, and these gates are made of like woven tree trunks that have been grown up over time and to make an actual gate arch. and all the walls are set up with hawthorn hedges.
Yeah.
Inside you've got very well maintained but not ordered
Yes.
gardens.
Yes.
So it's they're looked after. Everything's been
But everything's just allowed to grow.
everything's allowed to grow where it wants to grow, but it's
Yes.
all still like kept. Like any dead wood is cut away
Mhm.
and cleared away nicely. Anything that's blooming is sort of. It's almost like the light shines better on the areas that are in season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there any acolytes wandering about?
There are plenty of ones that you would call acolytes. So, in this area, they're probably more like gardeners. They're just sort of
Yes.
wandering around. Most of them have got sort of larger, sort of like not straw hats, but
Mhm.
like wide brim hats, and just like shallow baskets as they're going around and sort of pulling away dead leaves and old branches and just stacking away in these. And other ones are busying around getting like the best blooms of this day and gathering
Yes.
them up.
The ones that are doing the best blooms, I'd like to go up to one of them.
Okay, investigate.
Investigate. 12.
Okay.
Switching die.
You rolled above average. Well, got that above average result. Oh, man.
I have had a 6 and an 11.
Okay. You got one little patch sort of picking sort of like fruits and so forth off some
Mhm.
larger sort of orchard trees,
Mhm.
and another group that are picking sort of herbs and flowers.
I will go to the herb and flower group,
Mhm.
and I will ask them if they can please help me.
Of course,
I'm
officer.
I was looking to obtain a chrysanthemum and a daffodil.
That should be fine. Give me 2 seconds.
Thank you.
I'll run inside and see what we've got of today's harvest. if
Thank
you
you.
don't mind. As this one sort of hurries off into sort of the greenhouse area that's attached to the
Mhm.
attached to this garden. Roll me perception.
16.
The dice is better. You're looking. You sort of look around slightly for a second, and then realize that Snore is not at your feet and has wandered off about 30 yards or so off into one side.
Yes.
And
Oh, did he
just
find
found-
catnip?
Yes. You see him just sort of in this bunch of herbs, just like burying his head, like
Oh, he's having
roughly
fun.
into this pile of herbs, and then just sort of rolling over onto his back and just doing this flick backwards and forwards, and then rolling back over, and there's like biting these leaves and just like falling backwards, and yeah, it's just being a dopey cat in catnip mode.
While I wait, I'm just gonna play my flute lightly.
Okay, just genuine general tune.
Yeah, just a nice light general.
Okay.
Slowly wander towards Snore.
About 5 minutes time, that acolyte that you spoke
Mhm.
to comes along and has got this small this one again, one of those little shallow baskets
Mhm.
coming along, and it's got these selection of flowers.
Excellent.
Would these ones suffice?
Are they chrysanthemums and daffodils?
Sure.
Insight check.
Because that's what them actually looks like, but
They are? Okay. Yes, I'll take them. They're perfect. Thank you.
Chrysanthemum's it's like a sort of orbular top, and it's all ruffly.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I got the one, yeah.
And I think, how do you spell chrysanthemum?
Probably not
Um,
how it sounds.
I pull out my coin person gesture, like how
For that, don't worry.
I give them I give them a gold piece anyway.
Oh.
Thank you.
And then sort of lays it down at the bottom of the basket, and thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm done. I head back to the temple.
Easy. We'll jump over to someone else for a little bit.
Take it away, Goiter! Ladies and gentlemen, Goiter on the microphone.
Here's your NPR voice from last time.
I'm trying something different. I'm mixing it up. and now we have Goiter coming on the microphone to tell us about what Hana's doing today.
After a
Goiter?
lovely
I
hour
would like
of
to do an
groceries and
explorative
flowers.
narrative on smooth jazz in the 3 moon phase of Heimdall's pot.
That sounds lovely. Please take it away.
Everyone get comfortable. find a quiet place, and we will.
And settle in for the next
relax.
16 hours.
After which we have more
We-
flower chat.
Smooth jazz.
We have a lot of
Smooth
issue to talk about.
Fuck this. Come on.
Yes, hi, I'm doing a thing.
Murder,
come on.
Fucking murder something already.
Right.
Jesus fucking
Right,
Christ.
punch the gnome. Yay!
That's a good roll.
Probably actually punched a gnome. So yeah,
Always
to-
punch gnomes.
Back to the
where
hippie
we
chat.
left you, I believe you were heading back up the hill from the grotto up towards the town, and Graylin was
Graylin.
Mealand.
was basically just like, let's check in for the full moon festival, hey?
That's right, there was the festival. Oh, goody. I can't wait.
Why with all the unpleasantries? It's a party.
I'm not being unpleasant. Look how happy I am.
Goiter
I
indeed
can't
looks
feel the state
happy.
of a single tear roll down my...
Just push this one tear out.
This is my happy face. It's tears of joy.
Do you have prestidigitation now?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, am I the only one that doesn't? That would be hilarious.
But
You're a mighty wizard. It doesn't need prestidigitation.
You have the druid equivalent of the druid craft thing, don't you?
I do. Yes, you'll be the only person without the equivalent.
That's fine.
Got him. Checkmate. High five.
Okay.
You're a strong, independent
I've got
wizard.
Eldritch Blast. It's the best cantrip. Yeah, you can't argue with that. Sucker. Sucker.
Got him.
Got him.
Yeah, it's
I'd like to prestidigitate a foul taste in Leland's mouth.
You see him at the moment?
Did you see-
Eventually.
did you see the night Leland had before this one? That would be a relief.
It's true.
It's like suddenly walk along and go, ugh, actually.
Oh, thank God, an improvement.
Sorry, back to Hannah.
Yeah. As you're sort of approaching up towards the village, you can hear sort of the sounds of revelry going along. There's some
Somewhat higher pitched
Flute
than usual
and-
revelry.
it's like going into a Smurf village.
Roll for initiative.
But
Gonna paint the town blue.
you can hear sort of just like this music that's just made of flutes and panpipes and so on, and some drums and a couple of stringed instruments going on. There's this party fair going on.
As I walk up to this, Hannah will think, what has my life become? I used to live in a cave. A beautiful, beautiful, dark, scary cave. Now I'm spending time with fucking gnomes.
And this village is sort of at the
A gnome village.
at the higher point of a hill, not right at the top, but closer up.
It's just so
The,
open and expansive,
The-
green and verdant.
It's relatively clear around the village itself. There's some trees scattered through the village still because they're not going to clear fell the whole thing. But of the whole forest, this has got the best view of the actual night sky, and above you,
And the day sky.
and yes, the day sky. But it is the night sky
Oh,
currently.
the desert sun.
Weirdly, it doesn't have a good view of the afternoon sky. I don't know why.
Interesting if true.
Welcome to the Eclipse Forests. Looking up in the sky, you can see the moon in its full state. So yeah, the half crescent is the half moon is intact, and then the other half is split into those shards that I think I've mentioned before. Look like teeth in a mouth,
And I don't feel like turning into a werewolf and killing everyone.
which is
I feel like killing everyone, but not in werewolf form, which is an important distinction we must make.
but yeah.
We. I've never felt the need to make that distinction.
Roll for initiative, Ross.
I'm not even in the room.
Oh,
Not even in the state.
Not even in the.
Possibly not even in the same country.
Or continent.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Nobody knows. Oh wait,
You probably do. I would hope.
Have you worked out geographically where all these places lay?
Yeah, I've actually got a pretty good idea where this one sits.
Okay.
That is somewhat relevant.
Oh, really?
look,
The plot thickens.
as we're heading up there, I'll talk to my new gnomish friend, air quotes. Look, as much as I love spending time with you and your inbred family, I do have other places to be. Like, we've turned a corner. I feel, in a better place, more connected. I can tap into this power. But I do have other places to be. By tomorrow, a couple of days, a week.
Please. You've been here for not even a day yet. It's
Which-
been just a few hours.
To be fair, feels like a lifetime.
That's a fair point. You have killed part of yourself today.
See? How many people can say they've done that in a day? Not many.
If any.
I was going to do it myself. I'm glad you did it. I was fighting the urge.
Surely you can hang around for a drink or two,
Oh,
a bite to eat.
but yes, that sounds great. Absolutely.
Enjoy the hospitality.
Oh, I intend to.
And the worst case scenario, you could disappear into the darkness at some point. I imagine you'd be good at that.
Roll stealth check, see if I can bash in front of his very eyes. I rolled a natural 1. I assume I just trip over.
Just walk into the closest tree.
Bang.
Like, ow.
Yes, I'm an expert.
I hate the bush at night.
Are opals valuable? We know they have lots of opals from last time we were there. It was the currency during those games that they held.
Oh shit. You remember that? I didn't.
Oh yeah.
If that is true, and I remember that, I suddenly have a newfound interest in attending this party.
You're welcome.
Everybody, Congo, outside your village, over there somewhere. I'll stay here and protect everything.
Yeah, you
can trust me. I'm a cop.
you sort of
This is also where the Ring of Animal Friendship came from.
Burn it all down.
Neve is still in this village now, right?
Mm-hmm.
She returned here.
Mm-hmm.
Meet old friends. Associates.
Oh, that's better.
Well wishers. And that you don't wish them specific harm.
Only generalish harm.
Generalize. Just like, yeah.
So yeah,
I wish them a swift death rather than a painful one.
Jesus Christ.
That's the most
For a drow,
affectionate
that's
thing he's
pretty-
ever
it's
said.
pretty good for a drow.
one of the highest honors.
Boy, I don't know.
So yeah, you make it up to the edge of the village, and you can see the lantern lights strung between a lot of the trees and the canstone ring in the middle in the town center. It's just got these like essentially fairy lights strung around the place. A few of the local inhabitants that are magically capable of throwing up like instances of like dancing lights around and adding to the.
Oh, I do that too. I thought darkness.
Don't you also have dancing lights? I think you actually
I
have.
think I
dancing
might
lights.
actually.
You do. It's one of your drow things.
It's a drow thing. You wouldn't understand.
No, I have
You have fairy fire.
fairy fire. Wait,
Darkness and dancing lights, yes.
no, I do have dancing lights.
And darkness.
Well, that's exciting.
That's to lure foolish people to their deaths
It's essentially you're
in a cave.
You're the anglerfish of caves.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Anglerfish of the Underdark.
I mean, you were joking.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I get jokes.
I was making a funny metaphor. Simile.
No, too late. You said it. Language is constantly evolving. It's the new thing now.
Literally.
Oh
Okay.
no. Language is evolving.
No metaphor, because you said you are not your like. Similarly, so to say something like something. Metaphors are the same.
Welcome to the Grammar Podcast, where we bore you to death.
Welcome to Grammar Nazis from NPR.
White people correct other people on their pronunciations.
One of my favorite.
It's a
jokes,
special
I'm gonna get
skill.
it wrong, but it's like somebody goes, "What is a metaphor?" Well, it's explaining something by like directly comparing it to something else. Okay, well, what's a simile then? Well, a simile is like a metaphor.
Oh, I actually laughed at a grammar joke. That's the worst thing.
We're so sorry.
The good thing is I can do my normal lean back laugh and it doesn't upset the recording.
It upsets
It
me,
upsets
though.
us.
So where were we?
Yeah.
Flashing lights.
Hen was heading to the Moon Festival. Full Moon Festival.
But yeah, you
Yes.
to socialize.
Looking through the town, there is you see the band is sort of set up around the center. There's a group of people sort of dancing in sort of pairs or small groups. There is a long banquet table laid out. There's just a single long table with a bench down each side, and there is just family groups and friends all on the table, sort of just like sharing a meal, sharing drinks, and just chatting, laughing, and yeah, having a. This is basically I'm just describing Bilbo Baggins' 111th birthday. I just realised.
Baggins.
My 111th birthday.
Fuck! I need a party tree now. No. Yeah, you're sort of wandering through, and you can see a couple of the elders. You see the older female gnome wandering around the place. I forget what her name is, but
Same.
You can
We'll
find
just
out
go
if
to
you
our
really
archivist
want.
who will get that for us shortly.
but you also see one of the other elders. I think that one was named Matthew.
It's right from memory. I don't think
I can't
too
read my own
much.
handwriting, don't worry. Yeah, there was Matthew, and I think there was a Shanna or something like that. Shana? Shauna? I can't read my handwriting.
It was Sharon.
Shazza.
Also, someone called Neve. I don't know who that was.
Kind of important.
It's a mystery.
But yeah, so looking around, you see the elder Matthew sort of spots you, sort of holds a hand up high and just sort of waves across at you. It's like a big grin on the face, and it's just like signaling you over.
I stare. I look behind because maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's not me. Look back again. I sigh. I walk towards Matthew.
Yeah, you sort of
I have
make
to
it.
imagine, like, particularly in this sort of setting outside, incredibly socially awkward experience for one that prefers to be alone. I see no way out. I'm trapped.
You see, so Matthew sort of just like sees you approach, sees that you're coming over and sort of busies himself quickly. And as you get
Actually, on the way over there, I'm going to look over from walking by like, the feast table. It's kind of it's been an entire day. I've been like a werewolf, then not a werewolf, then a werewolf lives within me as well as all of nature apparently. So I'll be quite hungry and thirsty. So I'll be reaching over and just grabbing food from people's plates. Just going, oh, that looks good. It's a big
grabbing
one for
from the
me.
plates, or you grabbing from the actual the feast lined up down the middle of the bench.
Well, if I'm walking across the bench, it's too far away. So I'm just going to go, thank you.
Every now and then you just like, hey, and then oh well, and there's like reaches. There's one reaches forward and just like grabs another so there's another sort of small pie and puts it back down there on their plate.
I come back, oh, I didn't see the pies.
As you approach towards Matthew, he turns around and he's just got this sort of large cup in his hand. Well, he's got a cup in both his hands, but the one in his right one was the one he didn't have before, and sort of hands it like happily over to
So
you.
you say a large cup, but it's actually like a normal size cup.
Yes. It's actually a shot glass. No,
Oh no.
wasn't expecting you back so soon.
To be fair, neither was I.
Honestly, the way young Neve was talking, I wasn't expecting to see you guys ever again.
Ouch.
The way she was talking, it's a wonder that anyone is surviving at all.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point.
Oh yeah, we didn't exactly
We did
rise to the occasion a few times there.
We did almost die many, many times.
I
did kind of break
understand that.
down.
I think she and at least a couple of you almost got eaten by a giant worm at a point.
Well, it wasn't giant. It was gigantic.
You've
And
been there.
everything was under complete control. You see, I knew, using my superior drow intellect, that going into the worm and stabbing it from the inside where there is no armor is clearly the best place to be. And the fact that I'm here today proves that I was correct.
Oh, quite the tactician.
That's some Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy logic there.
System works.
Well,
That's right. Prove otherwise.
Yeah. So,
And where is Neve?
And he sort of looks around and is like, she'll be around somewhere. You hanging around tonight?
I thought say I'll look at my watch, but those things don't exist. So I'll look at the moon and gauge the time.
Well, you can still sort of see like the glow of the set. The sun only set maybe about an hour or so ago, so like the western horizon's still got that sort of pinkish purplish glow to it. So it's only sort of 7, 8 o'clock at night at this point.
I'll do a quick glance around before answering them. Are the people like playing, like before there was those games and stuff like that? They're like people playing games like card games, like some.
The main sort of games.
Was just like a
something,
feast.
Something during the day.
That's what I was wondering.
That was during the day last time round. There are some stalls for entertainment. There's a couple of people doing like fortune telling and things like that. For the most part,
I was looking for stuff I could make some money off, basically.
Oh, around the tables there are some family groups and some friend groups that are just playing cards or dice or they're enjoying the evening.
Is money being changed hands in those games?
Roll perception. Actually, what is your passive? It's like 20 or something.
Oh, I don't know. 20. I don't know.
Sure.
A couple of them look a little bit more competitive, and there's money changing hands.
I might stay for a little bit. I was kind of.
Have to dig out that UA again. Okay.
I'll certainly be gone before the sun rises, though.
I imagine most of the people here will be disappearing before then. There'll be a few stragglers. Some like to see the morning in, but there's probably going to be some sore heads and tired eyes before the night's out.
Well, us Drow are a bit more hardy than you little folk. It's more the sun that I'm concerned about than having
So I
a lack
hear.
of stamina.
Ooh, we'll drink up then. And he holds his cup up to yours and is like,
I'll take a sip. What is it?
it's like a fruity ale.
Not of a wine
Like-
girl, but
It's like a fruit cider, essentially.
It's a recorder league.
Yeah, essentially.
I'm more of a wine person, but I don't want to be rude, so I'll pour it out on the floor. No, I'll drink it.
And he's just like,
I will need
and
alcohol.
down his at the same time as yours. Like,
This is when the poison hits.
I'm into that.
how do you like the local brew?
It's fruity.
It is.
Not as strong as I'm used to, but it's okay.
What would you prefer?
Do you have nice wine or maybe some fine spirits?
He's like, mill around for a little bit. I'll be back in a tick. And he sort of he shuffles off and sort of disappears from like the main party area.
I'll while he wanders off, I'll just do a quick little glance around to see if I can see Neve at all. Like I had a quick glance before. What's wrong?
I was seeing if I had my hard copy of Zarin files somewhere.
Okay.
As an aside, the very potent liqueur that Leyland had on the ship before his very fateful night with Hilda was called Sinka, if that comes up.
Thank you, Jen.
Goida was looking for something stronger. Clearly it did something if you slept with a Goliath.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe little Matthew could get lucky.
So anyway.
No.
So I was just looking at the downtime thing. There we go.
Yes, with
Talking about
Neve not there, I guess, and
Downtown.
Matthew walking away to find something better to drink. I'm gonna go find a nice spot to sit down in front of a card game and kind of make some money.
Alrighty.
And what I'm going to do is because it'd be wise to have it's wise to be sober during these games while they get drunker. So I'll be drinking my drink in a way that kind of looks like I'm drinking far more than I am. So like the occasional sneaky little pour out on the side, or
You're also twice the size they are, so it's all.
that's true. But saying that, however,
What's your constitution?
while I will brag about drow superiority, in reality, my constitution isn't that bloodshot. It's not the worst. But
So,
when Ryan starts saying that you have to start making constitution saves, I will be in trouble.
if you're doing the sort of tip one out for a friend, but on the subtle,
So I'm happy to roll a sleight of hand for that.
either sleight of hand or performance.
Sleight of hand it is. Performance being +2, sleight of hand being plus
11
13.
billion.
13.
I've got double proficiency.
Double
on that one now.
efficiency, yeah.
Sure.
That's a
You
25.
complain about it. You got double proficiency and stuff as well, don't you?
It's not a 13.
Sorry,
Drow superiority. 25.
25. So yeah, you sort of like sip, pour, sip.
I imagine like that sort of roll, like the brace is sort of like comedic, like tip the side, just like.
At the
and
same
none of them
time,
notices.
you need to be pretty good at this because you are a drow amongst a village of gnomes.
Are you saying I
I?
stand out a bit?
Yes.
That's racist.
You have a lot of eyes upon you. Some with suspicion, some with just like awe, some with just like, what is a drow doing here? Or what is this particularly dark-looking elf?
Quickly, hide the silverware.
Oh, it's already stolen.
Jiggles, 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 she walks along. But you're sort of sitting down near this card game, and one of the gnomes is basically like backing off as like the last of his cards, or the last of his money is sort of passed on to the winner of that round, and sort of like, well, that's me done, fellas. And sort of tips his hat and sort of gets up from the bench, and
What game was it? Was it they're playing?
we're playing a generic card game.
I love generic card game.
A game of cards.
Well, as he gets up, I'll sit down in his spot and go,
You're watching it. It's similar enough to the one you watched Hollister play versus the people on the
okay.
boat. It's got some sort of local differences, like some house rules or localized rules to it. But you've watched a couple of hands of it now and got a gut feel for how it works. I'm basically doing that because I found the downtime section in
fantastic.
my thing.
Well, I'll sit down in his spot and go, oh, this little game looks interesting. Can I
Hey there,
can I play?
little lady, feeling lucky? That sounded gross.
I get up and leave and set everyone on fire.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't mean it that way. Fancy a hand of cards. That sounded less suspicious.
Sure, you'd have to take it easy though. I don't often play these kind of games. It just looks exciting and interesting.
Oh, deception.
Yeah, it's worth a shit. That might not be so bad. Deception, you say? 25. 15 plus 10.
Sure. It's like, all right. We'll take this easy. You not played before at all, or just a novice?
I don't often get a chance to play these type of games.
All right. We'll play this first round. Why am I slipping into an English accent?
Blimey!
We'll play this first round with no money in. We'll just play this one through. Then after that, once you got the swing of things, we'll start putting some money in.
Okay,
How's that sound?
that sounds good.
All right. This is that thing where I got to roll 3 bunches of numbers.
So what do I have to do?
Just give me a second. I just got to generate these numbers.
Generate the numbers.
All right. So, remembering from when we played with Hollister, you make 3 checks. One is insight, one is deception, one is intimidation.
Do I just roll 3d20? I get to choose what they are, or
Basically, we'll roll out sort of like three things, and just sort of describe what you're doing and then which role you're associating with, and I'll line that up with a skill as I go along. It's playing against each other, but
Okay.
I've got 3 numbers already generated. The first one I've selected. So what do you?
So what was it? It was insight,
You got insight, deception, or intimidation.
deception, or intimidation. I guess I'll roll insight for the first one, just kind of really absorbing the rules of the game.
Yep.
Like just because legitimately there would be some parts of this game, some interesting localized rules. So I'd be
Yep.
more focused on just paying attention to that. It's a full moon, so I have to put down this card. 'Cause it's also a Tuesday, so that means the card gets flooped and that sort of stuff.
Flip the pig.
What do I add to the? What the? I've rolled 3 15s. Every roll so far, and I spent a 15.
It's not a bad number to roll.
No, it's not. I'm happy with it. So what do I add to this roll? So just
This is
You
which
said
one were you
insight
doing?
first?
This is
Insight.
your insight. Sorry, insight.
that makes sense. Well, with that 15, that is a 17.
Okay, so you're sort of watching this card game play out, and you've seen this played before. You are doing a bit of a shark job.
Just a little.
This is a little one. You're sort of watching the cards play and sort of playing dumb a little bit, watching how the local version of the game plays out, and yeah, sort of getting a bit of a feel for it. What's your second one? You got deception or intimidation next?
Intimidation isn't good. I'm not sure where for. I guess I'll do deception next. As the game kind of plays through, deliberately making suboptimal choices, pulling random people across the sea, playing like, is this good, bad, like, kind of, okay, that's right. What does this hand mean again? Okay, that's right, and doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So 28.
You sort of look across the table.
I'm just doubling down in the.
You're sort of looking across the table, the bench at this other guy, and he's sort of just watching you. He's just got this. He cannot help it but have this little sort of like smirk on the side of his mouth. He's just looking you in the eyes, like just happy as Larry at how you're playing right now.
Oh God, crush
I'm
him.
glad I could.
So the last one is intimidation, I believe.
I don't know what to do with this one, to be honest.
I think this was when you bluff. When you make a bluff.
That works.
I thought deception would have fallen that as well. That's why
Oh,
That's fine with
deception
the
is
height.
trying to be sneaky. Intimidation is when you know.
Intimidation is more like trying to force them out of the game, sort of thing. Like, I don't know, raise you.
Yeah, like
But I'm not trying.
Faint
I guess I'm not trying to do any of that sort of stuff right now. So I guess the opposite of that. So roll really badly, dice. Hey!
asking you
5.
shall receive.
So I kind of want to fail the intimidation. I kind of want people to stick around and go, oh yeah.
So you go backwards and forwards. You're doing the sort of the.
What was
You're
me?
sort of watching the game and sort of getting a hang of things, and you sort of do your whole act of like.
I guess I kind of really badly call, like if someone does a bluff call, I like really badly copy it, sort of thing. Like,
And then someone one of the this other guy sort of just goes like, well, yeah, you're not playing for any coins, but he goes, at this point here, if we're playing for money, I'd go all in, and you're like, all right, then I'll match that. Then sort of like, I'll go all in it as well, like blah blah blah. With that, and he just sort of puts his hand down, which just blows your one out of the water. And at this point here, in this situation here, you would have had 1 success, 2 failures.
Ooh,
damn, son.
And that, so,
Tiny shark.
you think you can? You got the hang of this now? Put some coin in the pot.
Yeah, I think I'll
no,
work it out.
you got one win. You got one win out of that. That was go all in.
Bring out my coin first. So how much is a good amount to use?
You pull out one of those like green visors, light up a cigar.
Sunglasses on.
Alright, boys.
Just get the cards, just doing the. There's a riffle the
But
deck.
look at their
And
face,
just
like,
doing the whole thing where you like flick a card from one hand to the other hand. Is like, oh wait, I did this whole description for someone else before, didn't I?
Suddenly you're surrounded by scantily clad waitresses with martinis and.
We're playing 7-card draw.
the name song.
Aces are
I know
2s,
song.
jacks are 5s, face cards are wild, and
Rule-
then other face cards are not wild.
The Joker's a strip.
What?
Gotta have a little
That's
fun.
not a thing.
They sure are words.
And so he sits there and is like shuffle, and then flicks out the cards between the two of you, and it's like, All right, he's got his hand up.
And I guess I'll grab whatever the pot is and match that as well.
All right. How much are you putting in, by the way?
What
$10 minimum bet.
what are other what are other people doing? Is it like a higher stakes game, lower stakes game?
It's a fun game in public at a festival. So it's
So high stakes.
It's not high stakes, but
Literally,
there's a little bit. No one's losing their house at a festival.
Just maybe a bit of their pride.
It's for fun.
At least until now.
Now we play serious poker.
I guess
Mavericks at the table.
if everyone's putting like 10 gold, I'll throw in the same.
Most of them sort of go between sort of 10 and 15 gold.
I'll do 15.
15 in.
Ooh.
And he sort of looks at that and he matches the bet. So there's 30 in the pot. All right. Pick your first stat. Insight, deception, intimidation.
I guess I'll do insight. This is as we're playing the game, just kind of, I guess, like a bit of the old card counting. Like, okay, what's he got? What I've probably got, so I can kind of know the lay of the land, and if I'm doing alright or doing poorly, that type of thing. Roll good. 21.
That was insight.
Yes, it was. I'm hoping that was.
Okay. You sort of looking across at him, and so you're doing the whole thing where you look down at your cards and then you look across at your opponent. You sort of lock eyes for a second, and he sort of you see this slight thing where ever so slight like twitch in the right eye and like the right nostrils like flares slightly. And you're sort of looking at it as like you feel like he might not have the strongest hand. That's you get that gut feel. What's your next one?
You know, if Drows had guts.
Oh,
Drows
and-
have seen plenty of
And
guts.
not just, ingest food through some kind of neck pouch.
Drows have the hugest guts.
Tiefling
It's
guts.
confirmed. We've got the bestest guts, the hugest guts.
All right, deception or intimidation.
Intimidate.
I'll do intimidation and see if I can get him to like raise the stakes a bit more, potentially get a few more dollary doos out of him. Sure. Also roll good. That's a big 9 there, Mr. King.
Big 9.
Big 9.
Big no.
Does he double down and bet the house, the farm?
So you
Sheep
sort
station?
of like you try and sort of like push for like essentially a raise, but he's just sort of sitting there, looks at his hand, and looks at how sort of eagerly you're pushing for this, and just sort of taps the table and is like, "Nah." Deception. It's your last one.
Yep. So deception because I'll be trying to cheat.
Sure. If I remember right, we had the option of
Supplementing
subbing
sleight of
deception
hand.
out for sleight of hand. We did that with our Hollister as well.
I
Okay.
think it was supplementing one of the rolls for sleight of hand. But
Yeah, I'll do sleight of hand, I guess, to, I guess try and manipulate the cards of what's going on into my, in my favour.
Mhm.
Roll better than that. Last roll. My dice are sentient now. That's a natural 1!
Give me a total of-
your dice are
14.
sentient and spiteful.
Okay, so you do this whole thing where you like, you sort of just like lean forward. Sorry, I shouldn't lean away from the microphone. Sort of lean forward over the top of the table and sort of just like accidentally fumble your cards and then like try and pick them back under and try and palm one off the top of the deck that's sitting in the middle of the table, and sort of
Oh god.
you've got it sort of folded in amongst.
Ah,
You got your 5 cards there, and you got
smooth.
this 6th card that you just managed to sort of palm into your hand. It's just sort of got it sitting there, and yeah, you got 6 cards in your hand currently, and just sort of hiding one amongst the rest.
Smooth. Never in doubt, boys.
Get out, get out, get out, get out.
Darkness, I cast darkness.
But with that, he sort of places his hand down on the table, and he's got bupkis. Absolutely nothing. It is.
Got him.
There is nothing there. I'm going to get you to roll another sleight.
That's
of
because
hand.
I accidentally stole his cards.
I'm going to roll. I'm going to get you to roll a second sleight of hand to put your 5 cards down and manage to palm that 6th card.
Not a 1. That's a 26.
All right, so you manage to sort of like
Like an extra finger grows out of the back of your hand and sort of.
That's only if you get 30 plus.
Oh, okay.
I imagine like I whip the cards up in some sort of flourish, like some sort of showmanship, and as I'm doing that, like slide it down my
Just sort of flick it down the sleeve.
Yeah,
Now you have a card for later.
that's right.
And just sort of you place it down. And you had a mediocre hand at best, but you managed to nail him on this one. So with that, 2 successes. So you gain the amount you bet plus half again more. So you put down
500 gold pieces.
So you
Excellent.
have 15 gold. So you've got essentially you gained 7 gold over what you had before.
Got him.
Plus 7.
And he's there's like,
I want 7 gold.
well played there, miss.
Oh, beginner's luck.
Okay. But you're sort of like looking, sort of pulling these coins towards you and sort of putting it in your pouch, and then sort of as you're looking back up again, you see sort of across the crowd, you see Neve sort of walking around, and then she sort of looks in your direction and sort of looks eyes with you, and you see her eyes just go like wide, like terror, and she sort of like goes for the bow that's sort of slung over her back, and then sort of looking up at the moon above, and then looking at you,
I'll feign a.
and then
I'll look behind me
she
and be
pulls the bow in front of her and like pulls an arrow from that quiver. You know that quiver has got some magics about it as well. And she sort of whispers something to this bow, to this arrow that she's pulled, and it's just like starts walking towards you with the bow sort of half taut already, and she's just walking over and she's like studying at you.
That's a rather aggressive way to treat an ex-work colleague.
No.
And she's sort of across the way.
Well,
it's
actually,
like,
no. It's probably a fair way to treat this ex-work colleague, but the reason why you're doing it, there's no need.
And you see her sort of, you hear her sort of yell across the way, because she's probably still another 50 feet or so away from you. It's like,
Oh, so I thought she'd come close.
not
Sorry.
right up. She's keeping a distance. It's like,
I guess I'll walk up to her. I'll say that then.
well, as you approach,
As
she pulls the thing to full tension. It's sort of like, how long until you shift?
Oh, I guess I'll pull out the equivalent of like a fake watch, pocket watch type thing. Oh, between never and when I feel like it, I guess.
Last time when you came here, when you first showed up here, you attacked the town at full moon.
I believe I attacked the party. The town was relatively unharmed from memory.
She's still got the bow like aimed at you, like full tension. She's holding the string. Is like,
You'll damage your bow if you hold it for too long.
I think that's the least of her worries currently.
Well, first of all, if you were to let fly, and let's say I'm still infected by my previous condition, all that would do is enrage me further. You'd get a chance for 1, maybe 2 shots. Then you'd be dead. Or,
Roll intimidate.
oh no, roll really good. 9?
Okay, you sort of see her as like, you're not sure if it's just from holding a taut bow for a good minute or so at this point. You see her right arm just sort of like tremble slightly. The bowstring loosens slightly.
Also, you know how much I loathe large open places. I wouldn't have come here. Actually, no, I would have come here to destroy it. I take that all back. I just kind of look at her and just kind of chuckle and say, no, it's all under control. I've learned to harness that power. Well, I'm starting to learn to harness that power in a much more creative way.
From your position, you see Graylin sort of walking up beside Neve and just like puts a hand on her left shoulder, and she sort of like jumps from the start, and this arrow just like shoots straight away. It's like, psst, and just it clears like probably 4 or 5 feet above your head. You're the tallest one in the entire clearing, and so there's just this
I don't flinch.
this arrow is like leaving like a small trail like of like ice shards as it flies along. It's like,
As it does that, I'll tap into like on your ability to tap into like sort of nature and work out if that arrow killed any creature. Just so I can report back.
Well, I think you've still got some elements of your enhanced hearing, and you sort of just hear it hit a tree in the distance. It's like, "Dong." And you see
Well, you
Graylin
wasted
just
arrow
like,
for nothing. You just hit a tree.
you see Graylin sort of talking into her left ear, and she's like looking at him and is like, really? He's like, yes, she. He's like, oh, and she stows her bow back on her back, and then sort of comes over. I'm terribly sorry. Again, last full moon.
It's alright. Never apologise. I'd have done the exact same thing, except I would have shot the bow multiple times.
So why are you back?
I'll gesture towards Grayland. He said, he's taught me to tap into my, well, I guess, harness the power of nature rather than it control me.
Well, that's good. For a second there, I thought you were going to try and rope me back into the horrors that were your lands.
Oh, you mispronounced excitement and awesomeness. That's okay. You simple country folk, it's fine.
The big one's not with you, is he?
Which one?
Puppet.
You know what I'm talking
God.
about.
Well, to you, most things would be bigger, so you do need to clarify a little bit.
I'm not talking relatively. The biggest out of the lot of you. The half-orc. Finley.
No, he's not with us anymore. He had a crisis of faith. Of the heart.
See my religion.
I'm not going to lie, kind of miss his goofy face from time to time, but jeez.
Aw.
He can come on a bit thick.
Yes, and strong as well. No, we haven't heard from him for quite a while. He's off doing his own thing. There's the other two we're still here, still alive, living and loving life. How are you? Are you happy?
Much happier being back here, that's for sure. I had my adventures outside of this place, and nearly died. What, 3-4 times? I had some sort of shape-shifting creature impersonate me and wipe my mind for a period of time. Got swallowed by a worm and nearly died in the wilderness. It was, I much prefer being back here.
Well, for me, it was a Tuesday. Well, you sure I can't convince you to come back at all?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, well, just making sure, because when I go back, I'll talk to payroll about getting your back pay and that organised, and I'll collect it for you and make sure it finds its way here for you.
She can't come back. There's
Just
visa issues.
just give me just give me this written authorization just to do that, and I'll get you covered. So you're paid money due.
Just being back is fine. When are you leaving?
Damn.
Why don't you want me
Wow.
to stay around? We've got so much to talk about, girlfriend. Oh, we could go for a nice long walk in the forest alone, where no one would know if anything happened.
Just in
Or
the
we could stay here
darkness
and
the silence.
sing with all your friends and have a grand old time. No, I think get a chance to catch up like this.
She could introduce you to her family.
And Graylin's sort of still standing there. Is like, don't torment the poor girl.
Who, me or her?
Plus, you got things to do in the morning as well. Your training's not finished. It really just started.
So I gathered there's a bit more to do.
Enjoy the night,
I will.
but get a good sleep as well. And he sort of nudges Neve and
Oh,
sort
no,
of,
by the way, I was being serious before. Like, how many days? Like, I do have to go back at some point.
Do have a
Talking
job.
another day, 2 other days, 3 days,
as much as necessary.
3 days,
We'll see how long it takes.
2.
This is not an auction.
I'll give you 2 nights and 3 days, and that's my final offer.
It's a good offer.
I'll see you in the morning. And he sort of leads Neve off and just in a
Bye,
discussion.
Neve. It was great catching up with you.
Hey, put an old character back in the game.
I'm sure we'll catch up again shortly.
And you sort of, at this point, sort of Matthew comes over and he's got this clay bottle, just quite a large sort of, what's it, amphia? Amphia, is that the word? The big,
Oh, so for a normal,
like
a normal wine bottle for
like
normal people.
No, the big one for you.
Ooh.
So they got the two sort of like short, small handles in it. It's like, this might be a bit more of your taste, and sort of grabs the glass and pours it off, and it's like hands over this red wine essentially.
I will drink the red wine. Is it a good red wine?
It's decent.
Yeah.
But at this point, you sort of mingle with Matthew for part of the evening.
And at some point, I will vanish somewhere with a thing of wine and get my 4 hours sleep at some point.
Easy. All right, Leland.
Present.
It's been a little while getting to you, so.
So BB.
So as we had important things to do, like flowers and parties.
All the top tier stuff.
What would you like to do?
I don't know. Look, yeah, maybe sit down, like take his shoes off, catch up on some reading. You know, like his correspondence. He needs to send letters to his distant relatives. He's like his Christmas cards. I think it's Christmas. Do we have Christmas? Is there Christmas?
You have been to wait a while. There might be some mail waiting for you to
Do I have any mail?
check in
Tell
at
me
the
about my
post
mail.
office and head down to the post office, stand in line.
Buy some stamps.
The Christmas ones, the special Christmas ones.
The Christmas
Apparently
stamps, because there's Christmas. God damn it, there's Christmas in the setting now.
That is now canon. But what has Leland got?
Okay, so last thing that happened was Leland having his little face-off with the Mimic and getting infected with a new kind of corruption. I'm thinking...
Gift.
A
It was
gift.
a gift.
Yeah, no, like, fucking lovely. That's just what I always wanted. I'll put it on the shelf with the other one.
I forgot to delete out the
You have to make sure you put it out when the old one comes around so he can see it on the table.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
really
yeah.
enjoying it.
Porcelain elephants.
Yeah.
Somebody gives you a porcelain elephant once, and then like everybody's like, "Oh, he loves porcelain elephants."
the
I'm just
porcelain elephant
I'll
guy.
get him one, and then you have a fucking collection of porcelain elephants, and you don't like elephants or porcelain.
I'm sorry about the elephant.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, this is me sort of in canon doing
Yeah.
a thing, is he's sort of like taking a moment, going back to his room, sort of kicking the cold breakfast out of the way, and going and sitting down, and going through his book. And this is him sort of like learning a new spell out of his book and sort of like figuring out which one he wants to get,
Yep.
and sort of like reading up about scrying.
Yep.
Because I'm thinking, like the thing I'm thinking is the motivation behind this is what the Mimic was saying about this book eventually going back to Craven, who's coming back.
Yep.
He's like, scrying's going to be handy in getting a drop on Craven, essentially. So like that's his motivation for I'm gonna learn this scrying thing.
Yep.
And so he sort of gets the spell part of it down in the way that he gets his spells, them sort of worming into his brain. But he sees the part about it needing the focus, the ball or the mirror. He's like, ugh.
Okay. So you remember your book is essentially like the first part that you had before you merged the second half in was sort of like the origin stories of the world and the deities and the bits and pieces of that, and then mixed amongst that is where you managed to sort of decode essentially the spells and stuff you find. They're sort of hidden amongst the verses.
Yeah.
And then the second half that you smashed into there is essentially talking about the end times, Ragnarok.
Yeah. It's a good book. I like it.
You've actually essentially discovered the scrying spell amongst,
Well,
or are we role playing out?
well, what I'm sort of thinking is like that being like I'm not. Okay, if there's a the physical the story mechanics of how like he gets spells at level ups is a little vague, but I was sort of figuring like he's sort of drawing them out of the book at the level up point, sort of thing. Yeah, pretty much that.
Okay, so that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so you're flicking through. You're reading a passage about there is one of the deities that Odin beheaded, who had the capacity of like future sight and the ability to sort of see where regular sight shouldn't go. It was a deity called Mimir.
Mimir.
Mimir,
I know him.
because he was in the God of War game.
Because he was in the God of War games. You said that wrong.
And as you're sort of reading through this passage, and there's a couple of sort of images there of this like this decapitated body on the ground with Odin and sort of like his one of the forms that he's known to take is sort of this old wizened man with a long staff and with a couple of ravens around him. The old man and the ravens is sort of one of the forms he's been known to take.
That fucking guy.
He's got the head and sort of in one hand and sort of taking it away from this. And after sort of studying that picture, you sort of look back at the text of the page, and it starts doing that sort of that worming, squirming, like every one of the letters sort of turns into it's kind of like a leech, that's sort of moving around the It's sort of leech-esque in style, sort of somewhere between that and actual sort of tentacles, but disembodied tentacles.
I love it.
And they sort of start squirming sort of around the page and sort of reform back into the shapes of a spelling incantation,
Ooh. Leland reads it.
which is going through it. It gives you the processes and the requirements and everything that you need to do to see where you shouldn't be able to see, which is the spell of scrying.
Neat.
But it does point out that you need essentially a focus of types.
Leland then shakes the book. It's like, where do I get the goddamn focus? Turns it sideways,
Folds it like one of those Mad magazines.
folds it in.
And then it's the picture of a dollar sign.
Ah,
Kid with a gap in his teeth and what me worry.
stupid books. Is there any kind of indication from that, or is it just that? Just that?
You sort of do the whole sort of turn sideways, shake, and the spell sort of the spell text sort of fades back away and then returns back to that story.
Stupid book.
And as you said, that the prominent part is that image of Odin taking this head away from this disembodied corpse of Mimir.
All right. So Leland's experience with scrying is pretty much limited to Brant.
Yep.
So he's gonna go pay a visit to his good buddy Brant. Gonna mosey on down to the quartermastery quarters.
Yep. Quartermaster stores.
Sure.
You do know it doesn't involve a horn.
Yeah. Because I'm like, walks in there, sort of just breezes in there without knocking or anything, and just walks up to the counter. Is Brant standing at the counter, or is he somewhere else?
It's not really a counter. Sometimes he's trotting around
I've
with
always pictured a counter.
There's a desk in the corner, and he's got sort of like a trolley that he goes amongst the shelves and everything and gathers the requisitions for the day and so forth. But it's not actually a counter that he's waiting at.
Walks in. He's like, Brant, where are you? Where are you, old buddy, old pal, old good friend of mine, Brant? Where are you?
So you've sort of walked in, you've opened the door, and it sort of hinges into the room, and then you start calling out for Brant, and the door sort of just closes behind you, and he's sort of standing just where the door would have opened right up to if you'd slammed it open. And like,
There you are. It's good to see you.
and
Is that a new shirt? I really like this shirt on you. This is what color is this?
sort of raises an eyebrow over the top of it's the eyebrow over the top of his eye-patched eye,
Yeah.
and it's like, what do you want?
I want to know what color this is. I love it.
Cyan.
It really works with your complexion. So anyway, enough about you. I need to find out some things about scrying. You know I'm a mighty wizard. You know my vast magical powers. So I'm trying to
At this point, both eyebrows are up. He's just like,
trying to branch out, sort of thing. You understand? Trying to develop my skills more powerfully, enforce the will of Heimdall's church. You know how it is. I'm trying to learn how this scrying business works. And I thought, who's my guy for scrying? Brant. Brant's my guy for scrying. So I need a focus.
is this why you took my horn?
No. No? No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I wasn't drunk when I took your horn. Wait, hold on.
As far as I understand, you weren't. I'm pretty sure you were drunk afterwards.
Yeah, I was. That was unrelated. Moving on from that whole theft thing. I thought there was bygones. I'm pretty sure there was bygones. We had a moment. It was bro hugs.
It was also just yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Last night.
All our troubles. They seem so far away. But to answer your question, no, that wasn't about the horn. Stay with me on this. Stay with me on this. About.
Oh, I'm here with you.
Cool. You're not like getting a little bit dotty in your old age.
I'm just meaning I haven't left the room yet.
Cool. So scrying focuses. Nothing about that. Nothing. Look, this isn't even for me. This is for investigations. We do investigations here. We gotta like track down.
There's been rumors.
You're breaking my balls, Brant. Of all
Did you say
people.
Brant or Ryan then? I can't tell.
So no, like I got some inklings about it, like a mimir, like a mimir. Is there like a church mimir?
At this point, he sort of like sits. It sort of leans back, crosses his arms, and just like,
Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
what do you know of Mimir?
Just just in my wizardly researches into this mystical art of scrying, that he was the one to go to in this whole scrying business game. No? Am I on the wrong track?
He's sort of sitting there, and he's just.
Do I need an eye patch? Is that what I need? Do you think I can work an eye patch? I can work an eye patch, right? It'd cover up one of my very pretty eyes, though.
Well, most of the time you need an eye patch when your eye is gone.
I noticed you said most of the time.
Some pirates? I don't know.
All right. But do go on.
Why are we? So you're coming to me because
Because you're a scrying man. You're a guy with the scry. That's what we call you. That's what we call you out in the bullpen out there. Guy with the scry. They all say it.
They don't call me by my title of Sir Brant.
I mean, yeah, but like this is when we're like, when we're being jocular and friendly, and like it's a term of affection. Just go with it.
Did you just say infection?
Why would you say that? No, of course not. What does that even mean? That's crazy. That's just nonsense. I don't even know what you're talking about. Infection. Stop changing the subject.
I don't think you fully told me what you know of Mimir.
I don't really know a lot. Just that like there was a beheading thing from that Odin guy. You know Odin. You did Sunday school like the rest of us did. Yeah, heard of Odin.
I'm familiar with him.
So yeah, no, that's all I heard. It's all like like the mythology and stuff. You can't really get into the nitty gritty on that sort of thing. It's just like, are you gonna help me or not? Because I'll go.
I'm not entirely sure what you're actually asking. You've danced around a question several times. It's quite the jig.
Sorry. Let me start over. I
Take
really
your time,
like
boy.
that shirt. What color was it? Cyan? I love it. It works so well with your complexion. Now, what was after that part? I need a focus for scrying. Brant, I need a focus for scrying, like a crystal ball or a mirror. This is what I understand it to be.
But you came in asking about Mimir specifically.
Yeah. Yeah? Is that weird?
A little.
I don't think it's weird.
He's okay. What you found so... Okay, roll insight.
Roll insight. Hey, I can do that. Sorry. 4. That's a good one. 4.
Okay, you're getting the suspicion that
Fly lands on Leland's nose.
what you get with a 4 is you get the distinct you get a gut feel that This conversation has been very different to any other one you've had with Brand. Brand has normally been very like direct. You're getting frustrated because he seems to be talking in circles.
Stop fucking with me, Brian. Just come out with it. What's the deal with Mimir? Tell me what you know.
The stories are that Odin cut off his head.
Yep.
And took it because
Cool.
he needed something. He needed that power that Mimir had. So he took it.
Right. To pass this out, should I go to the Church of Odin to try and find what I'm looking for? Is that the circly sideways thing you're insinuating, Brian? I cast Detect Thoughts. Yeah, fuck it. I'm doing this.
All right.
The other insinuation would have been that you cut off Brant's head.
I'm not doing that.
Just saying, if you're going by the stories.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no willpower roll or anything like that, is there?
Well, unless I want to probe deeply, and that's like...
Oh, yeah. What you get, because you've already set up the thought pattern here, is you hear he took the head for the eyes, and then sort of like stops for a moment. It's like, and then like turns towards you, like, "Do you mind, Mr. Lighthorn?" And I know you haven't probed deeply.
Well, now I'm going to probe deeply. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Just help me out here. We can do this the easy way. It doesn't have to go like this.
Just think about it this way: the ability to scry is something that Odin killed for, and he was, or is, a god.
I don't like what you're implying here, Brown. I don't like this at all. Well, I guess when you're done being all cryptic about things, we can have this conversation again and stuff. And like Leon turns around and walks out.
A pleasure as always.
Yeah, slams door.
All right, roll me a fresh insight.
19.
That was all very weird and
Yeah.
sus, and
Yeah.
he talked to you through your detect thoughts.
That was weird.
He knew you was in there.
That was
You-
weird. That doesn't
What's that?
usually happen.
No, you did well. You got him.
Did I?
Stay the course.
Okay.
Stay the course.
I don't really have anything for following up on that.
Further to that insight is like,
It's not.
it feels like the information he was giving you was information but warning.
Tell me what to do, stupid Brian. I don't know what to do next.
You need to get 1,000 gold.
I guess.
Quick.
Yeah. What happens next, Ryan?
You find 1,000 gold just outside.
Just a trip over a gold house. No. Okay. Where do you see yourself heading from here?
Yeah, I don't know. Like he'd probably just be loitering around. That was the thing I had to do. Sort of went nowhere, so I don't know now.
Think about what he said. And think about what he didn't say.
He wants me to kill him and take his head, and I don't want to do that,
Or
Ryan.
at least just his eyeballs.
Well,
Do it.
One eyeball.
Kill him.
Wait, where's his other eyeball then?
Strike him down.
You need to find his eyeball. You're on a quest for the eyeball.
okay. Well, that's weird, though, right?
No, it's perfectly normal.
I don't
He's
know.
gonna
It's the
notice if I
wizard
take his-
thing.
He's gonna notice if I take his eyeball.
No,
Did
the
you
other
not notice
one.
that?
The one the eye patches over the lost eye bit.
He's gonna notice if I take the eyeball out of his head,
We just,
even if he has an eye patch
you
over
just
it.
move the other eye patch around.
Wait,
so
it's
it'll be
still in
fine.
his head? I thought he lost it.
I don't know what you want, man. We're giving you solutions.
We're helping.
I don't want to kill again, Ryan. I don't want to kill again.
I think you know someone for that.
No, we don't know any killers.
Well, while you're sort of standing outside the quartermaster stores, you see Sigrun coming from one end of the hall. Is just sort of stomping down the hall. She's sort of shoulders are slumped slightly. She's sort of just looking at the ground, maybe about maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of her, and just like trudging along.
Leland runs up to her, like, Sigrun! Like, tug on, like a, I don't know, robes. She wearing robes.
I think it was probably like a tabard or something like that on it.
Sigrun! Do you know where I can get like Mimir's eyes? Do you know where I could get Mimir's eyes or head or eyes?
She sort of
Weird question, I know. Just quickly.
and she sort of like pinches the top of her nose slightly, like wipes the top across the top of her eyes, like she's like just got a thumping headache. And just like looks down at you, like one eye like a little bit more open than the other, and just looks at you and is like, Odin has them.
Where's Odin?
This church is in the center of town.
I have to go all the way across town.
But really he's got, well, he himself has got eyes everywhere.
Oh yeah, that raven thing. I heard about that. Yeah. Hey, can you like summon your magical shiny horse and give me a lift?
Though I was going elsewhere.
No, this is a quest. This is a new purpose for you. Come on, we can do this. The quest to get Leland some eyes has a ring to it. I know you're on board. Come on, let's do this. Just like grabs like she got like a holy symbol somewhere, or like pick it up and sort of like jiggle it about. Say, just cast your thing and like summon a horse.
As soon as you do that, she like grabs hold of your wrist, like solemnly, as like, do not touch that.
I like your energy. That's what we need in a quest. Quest for eyes. Quest for eyes. Quest. We need a better name. You know what we need. We need someone to write songs about this quest that will ring through the ages. I got a guy. We'll talk to him after. But for now, we need a lift to the Temple of Odin. This is what we're all about right now. Come on. We could get some coffee on the way.
As I told the little one, working with you guys,
was the greatest thing of my life.
quite the opposite, has destroyed my centuries-long purpose.
Oh, because we did a job for it, that's right.
Accomplished.
But man, you Valkyries are weird.
I expected to be like uplifted into the heavens and sent back into Valhalla, but I'm stuck here still with no.
Maybe her quest
Purpose.
isn't finished.
Maybe your quest isn't finished. Maybe you need a new purpose. To get Leland some eyes.
Got him.
Got him.
Roll persuasion?
I don't even roll a persuasion.
No. Ryan has to ask that.
Well, but I'm persuading. It's really what I'm doing. I have a +9 in persuasion.
Your persuasion that strong, you can't even
Gotta
ask.
cast guidance on myself. 29.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
29.
All right. Just sort of looking at you and was like,
Come on, she's got to be feeling this energy.
If it'll make you shut up. If it'll shut you up
I
with it.
guarantee I'll shut up for moments of this quest. There will be some shiny moments of Leland not talking to you while we're on this quest.
will that start from the time I just say fine? Oh, that was the best 5 seconds of the last 10 minutes.
See, there's
that
more of
5
that.
seconds of
There's
you
more of that.
not saying anything was just music to my ears.
This is how
Sigurd got bitchy.
This is how I imagine the Leland charisma works. Just like the rapid fire over and over again until they just eventually go, fine.
What's your plan?
We're going to the Church of Odin, like you said. Like that was your idea, Jesus.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
Just say it less.
We're going on a quest. We need some quest music.
Yay.
See, that's the spirit. See, I knew you'd get on board. Is Poppin around here at any point? Where is Poppin at this point?
He had one more thing to do before he went and found Leland.
Okay.
He needed to leave the basket of chrysanthemums and daffodils outside of Sigrun's door with a little note saying "for a new day." Because chrysanthemums
Lame.
are the flower associated with Heimdall, and daffodils are the flower associated with new beginnings.
Someone's done some research. Holy shit.
Damn girl.
And then he was going to start asking around for Leland. Or just listening for loud, obnoxious loudness.
Well, at this point, you can kind of... You sort of play...
Just so happens.
I hear a loud, obnoxious sound in the distance.
What a twist!
You sort of just hear this
I know those piercing
low
shrieks.
energy yay.
That's Sigrun.
And then something along the lines of quest, 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 quest,
Going to Candy Mountain,
That's
Charlie.
Leyland.
quest,
I
purpose, quest.
head towards it. With Snore draped around my shoulders.
Mistake.
Okay.
I mean, I also could have flown you there, but whatever. Actually, no, I can't. My carpet's in bloody Gnome Town.
Bloody nomatons.
I keep forgetting I have the
Or
carpet too.
God damn it.
So you
Wait, you
sort
can cast fly on yourself.
of, shut up. You sort of turn you turn a corner and you basically see like Leland just doing this whole sort of like, you could be great. You could do the actually, I probably
You know what I
put words
kinda-
in your mouth.
you know what I kinda
you do your
picture?
thing.
That meme of that couple at the nightclub, and she's like, woman's just standing there like looking dead, and, like staring, like, oh god, kill me now. That guy's like talking to you, like all excited, like.
I just take a moment to express the just unending sympathy for Sigrun. In her
You know,
moment of...
this is perfect. You know how I said we needed a song for this glorious new quest we're going on? It's a bard.
I'm
You
sorry.
bring the basket with, or did you leave it in her room?
It's outside her room.
Okay.
Next to the, I'm assuming, empty coffee and breakfast that I
We
left
need to
there
go
earlier.
on this quest right now. There's
Well-
no time for you to go back to your room.
When all three of you get out of prison next, is what I'm assuming this is going to go. The flowers will be there for her.
Exactly. They'll be all nice and dried.
Okay. At this point, like,
Also, hi.
Hobbit.
Sigrun?
But we're going on a quest.
Oh, good, because I have a quest for you.
Me.
For
I've
us.
already got a quest right now.
This is what happens when you accept.
Will
two
your
quests
quest
at a
be
time, and
finished
there are two-
before this afternoon?
Sorry, that was never mind. Sorry, what?
Will your quest be finished before this evening?
We could probably knock it out. Sigrun, what do you
Okay.
think? You got
I don't,
this.
I don't even know what your plan is yet.
He has a quest. We go.
Look, if we're gonna quest together, you have to pay attention. You have to stay on the same page as me, Sigrun, or we're not gonna get anywhere.
So far, the plan is go to Odin's temple.
I tug Leland to lean down. To, like, lean his ear down.
What do you got, Puppet?
Like, Hannah was never this argumentative. Hannah never asked this many
It's
questions.
weird, right?
Quest!
At this point, you snores over the sort of sleep across your shoulders, and then sort of like this is a groggy sort of wake up, and it's like big stretch, and just like digging a couple of claws into the side of your neck, and then sort of like,
So 1 point of damage.
and then sort of looks in the direction of Sigrun and Leland, and just like automatically like stands right up on your shoulders, like arching the back, and just like.
I try to,
And
I try to
Leland's
console
like,
him.
Ah, I thought you had like a new fur jacket. What the fuck is that?
It's Snore. I try to console Snore.
Snore is just like just hissing.
I know I react to Leland the same way.
God, cats don't get along with Valkyries. It's a well-known fact. Anybody tell you?
It's because they fly.
'Cause they fly.
Like birds.
Like
They're like big
birds.
birds, yeah.
See, he gets it. I'm sorry, Sigrun. Don't let this
'cause of my
impact on our
intelligence.
new quest thing. Who needs cats?
This is just the worst day of Sigrun's life right
She
now.
just takes like 2 steps backwards to try to get away from, noisy cat and
Noisy Leland.
half-elf.
No, I get it. You need some room to conjure your flying horse. I get it. Yeah, let's like clear some space.
So-
Let's get on this.
all the cards on the table. Beyond going to the temple, what are we doing? Because I don't know why you need me and a song
We were going to go on my quest
and a
after
vicious
this.
cat.
Look. Okay. Firstly, I don't know about the cat. Secondly, you always need a song. Come on, belt one out.
I like the nightline.
He's just getting started in this bard game, but like it's gonna be great. Look, and you look. Okay, cards on the table. We're doing a cards on the table thing now. I get that. I just think you need a quest right now. I just look as one friend to another. I think you just need a quest right now. It's not a pity quest. I wouldn't imagine a pity quest.
Oh.
Pity quest in color.
Also, I kind of need your help to get into the Temple of Odin. I don't think they'll let me in there. And if I have a Valkyrie by my side, then, they'll probably let that happen. So you're vital to this quest. Let's go! Hooray!
Okay.
Hooray, we're going on a quest!
Oh, you're so much cooler than Hannah.
And she just starts like just stomping forwards down the hallway towards the front doors.
You're not summoning your horse? We're not taking your horse?
Maybe
Not
outside.
No, okay, cool.
And yeah,
Come on, Puppet, we're going on a quest.
Cool. 2 quests. 2 quests. 2 quests.
I forget what the other one was. What was your one?
We're going to see a show at the tavern.
It's a quest. That's more like after quest.
It's a quest.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
This is what happens when you leave us.
Right? I got. Look for the listening audience at home.
This is not my fault.
The party has 3 members, and you're not.
4 members.
No.
Snore.
And Sigrid.
3.5 members.
2.5.
No. Like we don't have Hana. We need somebody to fill Hana's spot in the party.
We need a strong, independent woman.
I'm sorry, you've been replaced by me.
Oh, thank God. I left.
That's where you pick up the DM screen and put it in front of you. All right. You see a door to the north.
Yeah,
So
me-
you're in a tavern.
Tavern.
The Flaccid Dragon.
That's a good name for a tavern.
Okay, so yeah.
Just for the listening audience at home, Ryan is rolling his eyes at all of this more than usual.
Yeah, it's more than usual, yeah.
Okay.
Is this not how I was supposed to approach this quest, Ryan?
No, this is fine.
That is fine.
This is fine.
This is exactly going the way you planned.
Just a little powder quest.
It's a little bit of quest.
But yeah, you follow Sigrid outside. She's already out there and has summoned her winged horse.
Yes! This is what I'm talking about. This is quest material right here. Winged horse.
And then she sort of
Not a winged horse, winged horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
got to say it all ye olde
Oh,
like.
yoldy.
I'd like to pet the horse very fondly. Because I've ridden this horse before.
Oh, yeah, too.
Yeah.
You're sort of just tied
Bundled up, but
bundled up like a bindle.
still counts.
All right, so what end do I get on? Haven't really ridden a horse before.
At all? You've been a passenger on one. You had the ride from Londinium to the Focus. That was on a horse.
Were we riding horses, or were we in a cart then?
We rode horses.
I haven't ridden a winged horse before, and this is a very pretty one. There was somebody to help me get onto that one.
It's basically the same thing, but occasionally altitude becomes an issue.
Gravity is significantly more of a problem.
Well, it's not gravity, it's the sudden stop at the end that...
Touche. Yeah, so Sigrid sort of mounts up,
Sorry, this is my favorite thing.
reaches down sort of towards Poppet, like holds a hand out.
Yeah.
And just like, as you sort of grip on, she sort of pulls you up in
Thank
front.
you.
And then
I'll
sort
get Snore to kind of snuggle in under my cloak to be secure.
and then sort of
Because that could end
looks
badly.
over to Leland and just sort of picks him up by the back of the collar and sort of dumps him behind her on the back of the horse.
Yeah, this is the way to do quests.
And
Ho! That's what we say when we're going out on a quest.
what ho!
What ho!
The two feathered wings of this horse is like straight outwards, and then just with like 2 quick beats, this horse lifts off at a fairly decent rate, and then sort of starts shooting directly towards the center of town.
Cool.
From this position, you've got a pretty good aerial view of the city. You can see sort of the couple of market quarters down below. Behind you, you can see the docks. Just directly below you at this point, you can see Heimdall's church Probably about a kilometre or so ahead, you've got the probably a good 3 or 4 k's actually. Is the sort of the centre of town. You can see the main citadel temples sort of in a circle around Odin's one, and yeah, sort of a semi-overcast day. Just peaks of sunlight coming through still. There's a bunch of sort of seagulls and those sorts of things flying around. The occasional crow hovering around as well.
Crows.
Crows. Stone them. What? Why are you giving me that look?
You know what you've done.
I've summoned him. Yeah, it only takes like 10 minutes tops before you're already swooping back down to...
The whole way, Leland's like, yeah! Yeah! Quests! We're doing it! I'm flying, Sigrun! Can you feel it?
Oh, if I could just find part of the Neverending Story soundtrack and just move it.
Like that. Just like that. I imagine this is very confusing for Poppet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sigrun brings the horse down to land, which is a weird thing to say out loud.
I'm legitimately trying to like cheer Sigrun up. This is why I'm doing this. It may seem like I'm trying to annoy her, but like I feel like Leland is trying to help in a way that he can by manipulating and using people.
Fair. So it sort of lands, and then the attendants of this church, and you have, I don't believe you've been to this one yet. No, you haven't.
No.
They sort of, the ones that are sort of around the area sort of all stop and sort of look at it, look at the landing horse with three riders, and then a couple of them wander up and is like, oh, Lady Sigrun, and there's one hand holds a hand out to help her off the horse. To what do we owe the pleasure? And she just turns over to them and is like, this one wants to get to Odin's temple.
We're on a quest with a Valkyrie. Isn't that great?
I bow to them.
Like Leland vigorously shakes one of their hands. Officer Larkham, at your service. We're on a quest. We need to get into the...
Oh, you're with Heimdall's?
Yeah. I get my badge out, sort of awkwardly, see? Like this? Yeah. One of these guys.
What are officers of Heimdall?
We're on a quest.
You said?
Yeah.
A quest for what?
At this point, I look to Leland in a very confused way.
Leland puts his arm over that guy's shoulder and sort of leads him away off to the side, just being like, look. What'd you say your name was?
Benson? Steve. Chuck.
Carl.
Carl.
Carl Sagan?
I got a Valkyrie here. You understand? It's Lady Sigrun. You've heard of Lady Sigrun.
I've met her several times.
Yeah. She's got some business in the temple, and we're escorting her there. You understand? We just need to get through.
She said you're the one who needed to be here.
Look, she's being gallant and self-effacing, like Valkyries do.
That's not what she does. She's pretty. That's not this guy talking. That's Ryan talking. She's straight up not that.
I know. I know Ryan that I'm talking to right now out of character. Do I need to roll persuasion again? Jesus.
I think you do.
Okay.
Because that's a bold-faced lie. You really got to fucking...
I'll be taking this time to introduce Sigrun and the remaining guard to Snore.
No, I had advantage on that, right?
And he's just...
That was a 1.
There was a 1.
I rolled a 1 on my persuasion.
And there was also 1 on there.
Oh, it's a double 1.
Does that mean you implode?
I mean that comes out to an 11, a critical fail 11. So I do it with a little bit of
I
style.
think we're going to have Monopoly rules. I think you're in jail now.
I'm trying to fast talk him, and I just let out a fart.
You're like,
It's not silent, but it is deadly.
so, hold that thought.
I wish you'd hold in the fart.
So you sort of showing your cat to
Yes.
to Sigrun and the other acolytes.
And yes.
Um,
This is Snar.
So one of the acolytes goes up and tries to sort of like to pat the cat, and like as soon as he gets his hand close, it like swipes with the claws. It like leaves a nice sort of cut on the back of the hand. It's like, ooh,
There's a reason
it's
he's
a-
called Snar.
nasty little blighter, this one. And Sigrun sort of eyes him over a little bit closely, and as soon as she gets her starts sort of
Mhm.
focusing on him, he again sort of starts hissing and growling at him.
I
And,
use prestidigitation to stroke him. Harmless sensory effect.
Sure. Okay.
But cats hate being touched. It's not that harmless at all.
But I'm not touching him.
Rub his belly.
Ooh.
That's what you need mage hand
I come
for.
back. Where's Heimdall gone? Like burning wreckage.
And just one white cat walking away.
Puts on sunglasses.
Magically patting your cat hasn't seemed to have calmed it down at all.
That's fair. That's reasonable. Guess I can't see the hand.
Passing back over to you, this acolyte has just sort of been staring at you with like this sort of cocked head, just like
Is he still fighting at this?
the whole time. It's like, I think you need to give me a little bit more information.
We gotta talk to. I really need to talk to one of the priests of Odin. I gotta go talk to somebody about some important Odin business.
Was that hard?
It was pretty hard.
It seemed really hard.
Yeah,
Like really, really hard.
yeah. I think I had some spicy food earlier.
Oh. Oh my boy. That's. Whew.
Explains the fart.
That was the reference.
Oh, I get it. I get it. That's funny. Because you're tying it in. Such a professional.
Was there a particular priest you needed to see, or a particular topic of discussion? So, may I direct your call?
Look. We have some questions surrounding. Look, we're doing some inquiries into a beheading investigation, and I need to speak to somebody about
dear.
about the beheading of an individual. Pulls out his little like policeman's notebook, flicks finger, flicks over a page, flicks finger, flicks over a page. Mimir, an individual, named Mimir.
That's by my reckoning quite an old case then.
Yeah, we're going through some old cold cases. You know how it is. This is downtime. They want to get the numbers up. Yeah, it's police work. So where should I go with this Valkyrie?
He's sort of looking at you like this, like you, less like you're a police officer, more like you're a street performer trying to do it.
That's probably fair.
Because it's like the story of Mimir and everything is well known, especially amongst those within Odin's church.
Well, then, just like, who can I go fucking talk to? Why are you giving me this runaround? Why are you being like this? Why is everybody being like this?
Because you're presenting it in such an odd manner. It's not exactly an open police investigation. It's part of the like creation story and the theology of the religion. Tell you what, let's take you through to the libraries. We can talk with some of the law masters there.
The watch appreciates your cooperation in this matter, and it will be noted in my report.
Like,
Carl closes his notebook, puts it away. Let's roll.
trying to decide what to do. Jump over to you for a little bit because I think I need to think about what I need to do here.
Well, you didn't have this planned out. This wasn't all a part of your fiendish game.
Not this attack at it.
I thought this was a sensible approach.
I prestidigitate a cat toy.
Just an illusion. One of
No, you can make a non-magical trinket that lasts till the next round.
That's
Or
three-
till the end of your next turn.
It'll
It'll just be a very short-lived
trinket.
trinket.
Mouse on the end of a string who pops into existence and then almost instantly pops back out of existence. The one that Carl sort of leads you in because you haven't really dropped at the the front doors. You sort of dropped at one of the, landed at one of the sides of the building, and it's like, sort of leads you into the building through a side room, which looks like a small lecture hall. Then into like the main hall of the church. Through there is just a long, very, very high ceilinged room, columns all the way down. At the far end, there is just like a large stone throne sort of setup, and all the way down the sides there's frescoes of different elements of Odin's sort of legacy.
Neat. Walking through there, sort of looking at it, going. I didn't want to fully whistle into the microphone. I thought that would be bad for ears.
You sort of go. So yeah, you're going down the line there. You see sort of Odin versus the giants. You've got images of like his tenuous relationship with Freya. That would be a way of putting it, because that's not a happy story.
Yeah.
That's a
I play God of War too.
That's a bad one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Even outside of the God of War stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a great story. There is one of just like the headless corpse laying of Mimir, and there's Carl sort of leading you down, and then crosses across the hall, takes you into this large chamber just with stacks of bookshelves, but of sort of a similar feel to the librarians setup. Like because it's a tall building, and these shelves go most of the way to the roof. It just doesn't have that sort of
Dun, dun, dun.
black on black aesthetic that the librarians area had.
Not everyone can have the librarian's taste. Keen eye for aesthetics.
Carl sort of leads you over to the sort of central desk. It's a semicircle desk in the middle of the area. There's some books and scrolls stacked up on one side, and there's sort of this ancient-looking gnome sitting behind the desk. No, I've done an ancient gnome before. There was a guy in Londonium.
Ah, yeah. I like that guy.
He was good. Can it be his brother?
Cousin. It's always a cousin. This can be
There's
like the
one-
Nurse Jenny of Gesseract. Records master, whatever.
This Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny.
Whatever.
Sorry, it's right.
Potato.
Potato, tomato.
It's an elf, actually, yeah. The full elf. But
Full elves.
old looking,
Oh.
which is, for elf, quite old.
Super old.
And Carl sort of introduces you to,
Jan.
I like Jan. Let's go with Jan.
Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And just introduces him as like the Lawmaster Jan, and then sort of bows and exits the library, leaving you with the Lawmaster. We might pick that part up next week, because that's going to be a whole deal.
A whole deal that Ryan hasn't remotely thought about how to approach.
Well, Ryan's thinking on his feet a little bit here. Hannah, was there something you wanted to do before we finish up tonight?
Kill all the gnomes.
Kill all the gnomes.
Kill them all. Is there anything you wanted to do in the final parts of the festival, or did you want to?
Not
Could you
particularly. I've got a lot of things I need to do back, so I'll be more inclined to
So-
speed this along so I can get back to the glorious, glorious city.
You slink off from the festival at probably, at your estimation, probably around 11 o'clock at night, and you sort of duck off into the surrounding forest lands. Find yourself a little area to sort of keep away from everyone else. At what you would say about midnight, you hear like sort of the music die down, and then a few of the religious leaders and elders start to sort of making some like toasts or speeches, and then everyone sort of pauses, and it's just like there's just like still silence, and you can sort of see like because you've got that whole sort of light pollution thing going on, like you just see the glow of the town just a little bit over the crest of the hill, and you just see little bits of that light just get extinguished, and as the sort of the light of the town dies down, you can just see the moon is just so much brighter than it was before, just because of the darker surrounds. Like your eyes are adjusting to it better and better all the time. Sure, obviously your eyes are already good at dark. Anyway, but even being a full moon night, you can just see the sea of stars just cutting across the middle of the sky, which is odd. Normally you don't see that amount of stars so clearly when you've got a full moon going on, and it's truly beautiful. Like I don't think you've really appreciated the sky quite this strongly.
The sky typically brings the bad thing.
And this is probably the first time in probably most of your life that you've just had a moment to sort of stop and just look up at the sky and just to appreciate being under it.
Yeah, I guess also while I'm doing that, I appreciate I also practice myself to learn when earlier that day, like that focusing, being able to see the energy and stuff kind of go through, and I'll see if I can kind of see the energy, I guess, up in the sky. I guess in particular, the moon, and just see if I can kind of just grab it and I guess kind of play with it. I guess trying I guess in a way kind of justifying why I would have I guess trying to use it in a way, I guess for like guidance. Like I'll be sitting there like flicking a thing and kind of seeing if I can use that just to catch it a bit quicker or do a slightly fancy trick that I could have done before. Just kind of playing around with it a little bit. Just like going, I can use this to do stuff.
Which ability are you trying to lean into?
It's guidance, basically. Like
Just
trying to learn if I can just kind of tap into it, like focusing really hard at first, and then seeing if I can kind of do it like without concentrating really hard, or just training to see if I can just pull on it when I need to, type of thing, and see if I can pull it from the sky, from the things I'm touching. Just kind of learning how to draw upon that.
You sort of start focusing on like some of the constellations, and just seeing the patterns emerge within even nature of the cosmos, and just seeing the patterns emerge and seeing that everything is all interconnected. It's getting very
it's connected.
It's all connected. The universe is all connected.
Round, circular.
Dirk Gently. It's getting very Dirk Gently very quickly. But yeah, you can see like all the like every little star connects together, and every little world that's orbiting around each of those stars has got a connection that's all around you at the same time as well. And like everything's sort of got like that. You can sort of almost foresee the possibilities just a moment ahead of time, and using that to sort of enhance your ability.
Look, I think despite her generally sarcastic nature and all that sort of stuff, I think she would, and abhorrence of
sarcastic.
I know. Weird. It's something I'm working on, but not
very
really
hard.
at all. I probably find that to be quite profound and interesting. Like,
So yes, this is probably the first night that you sort of really laid out in the open and appreciated the sky, and sort of tapping into that, and sort of appreciating the power that can
I guess
gifted to you.
I'll definitely be appreciating that element of it, but also like just finding, I guess, a genuine moment of beauty.
At a certain point, and you don't really know what time it is, you drift into a genuine deep sleep. Not your normal meditation that you would sit down and just sort of closing your eyes and just trying to close off your senses. This is a true sleep. And probably, again, the first one you've had in God knows how long. And when morning breaks, you're probably the most rested you've ever felt.
I do actually, I've fallen asleep, climbed up on a tree, sitting on the branches up there, just kind of watching it. The sun breaks up and I just start screaming. I just close my eyes. Oh, God!
In the distance, you just hear this rooster crowing. And then on the other side of the town, you just hear...
Splat!
But I think at that point, we'll call it a night.
Bueno.
Muy bueno.
Thanks for listening to Heimdall's Watch. You can email the crew at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Isolated City Gaming. We're also available across multiple platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. Search for Isolated City Gaming or Heimdall's Watch, and then hit that subscribe button. See you out there, folks.